what would you like to start with?
I
do you
mean,
think?
Katie, I just want to start by thanking you for being here.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. It's really nice. Thank you.
It is really nice. And we met not that long ago
Right.
in our human earthly form.
Yes.
But it's perhaps an old soul situation because we hit it off so quickly.
Yes, it's so true. I liked you immediately. I thought we had so much to talk about. It was so nice.
We did. And
Yeah.
you would never be rude. I tried to talk to other people as
Right.
well and met some really lovely people, but we did kind of have
Yes.
our own little party
Yes, we did.
that evening. And I was in the beginning of this self-pitch for what we're doing today.
Yes.
And so you were a willing but trapped ear when I was talking
No.
about this idea
Yeah.
in the earlier times. And so to have it happening is very, very exciting for me.
Well, it's a pleasure. I'm also very curious about this medium.
Yeah, we're exploring it together. I have two very bright younger people guiding me through it.
Yes, yes.
I'm a beacon of a lantern. But we start by saying that we're here to explore
Yes.
the humanity that we learn about ourselves
Yes.
through this process of making. And what is it that drives us to continue pursuing
Yes.
this thing? And you and I met, and I immediately commented on what you were wearing, which isn't very, very fair of me, but you looked so great. And
Thank you.
it was the way you responded that I knew we were going to get along, because you told me the names of the people who had created the jewelry or the dress or whatever it was. You knew who they were as creators and creatives and wanted me to know about them. I thought, oh, we're going to get along. And, you were sending a message about, I thought, who you want the world to know about you by what you were wearing. And my mentor taught me that. I don't do it as
really?
well.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about Emily Summers.
Yes. Oh
But
my gosh. Yes.
I couldn't read the signals of fashion until I spent year after year watching her walk in and do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
know why and who she was, whether it was a brooch or a shirt, but took fashion from being something luxury
Yes.
that I had been told it was, into
An
the
art
same thing that we
form
do, an art
or
form.
a little bit of an art. Yes.
So I
yes.
wanted to talk about that.
Oh, well, I started off in fashion, and I worked at American Vogue here, and fashion's always been a major inspiration. But I love it for so many reasons. It's just another form of creativity, of course, and I think that's sort of why I'm interested in it. I love there's so many interesting creators in the same way there's so many interesting creators in our industry, but what I particularly like about our industry is the longevity of a project. Sometimes I remember in fashion it would be over the next day, and what I love about ours is that we create something often of very lasting meaning for people. It's, if you see what I mean. Yeah.
I completely see, and I wonder if your projects even push that further. Like, you want them to be incredibly enduring, because our industry also has a real fad obsession.
Yes, it does. It totally does. And fashion is just it's expensive and yet it's cheap. It's all those things. It's fast. It doesn't, it dates things, and you can spend a lot of money, time and effort on something because I want it to look like this, but it doesn't last. And so
you pivoted over to this side.
Yes, definitely. I actually had a doll's house as a child. Actually, maybe I shouldn't really admit this, but I had a number of doll's houses, and I would constantly redecorate them. I did not play with them. I didn't have dolls. I had nothing. They were just a decorating opportunity. I made furniture, everything.
Yeah, I just sort of made and then coveted my sister's doll
Oh,
houses.
there you go. Yeah.
Well, my youngest sister still reminds me how much she liked this gift, but I was unhappy with the offerings from Mattel for Barbie's beds.
Yes.
Like, I was like, these are not
not good. No.
She needs a lot more drama.
Yes.
And so I made her a Barbie bed.
Oh.
I think out of like a coat hook, or like a kind of like a wood ledge that you could put something on, but also has some little hooks for keys. I think I flipped it up, and that became the
Wow.
headboard.
Yes.
Life in miniature, I guess, is where we're
It
going
starts
with
in
that.
some way.
We
Yes.
can, when Christian was here, he talked about making maquettes. That was his
Yes.
Spanish to English word.
Yes.
He said, I wanted to create universes
Wow.
as a child. And
Yeah.
that's a big word.
Yes.
But that's what we're creating. People spend their lives in homes. That
Mhm.
is their universe.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. And you want it to be a reflection. Well, not everybody does, but some people want it to be a reflection of who they are in that sort of, how they feel. They want their sort of the environment to reflect their values, their interests, their history, their future, all of it. Mm.
How do you distill it all?
I don't know. How do you do it? I don't know.
Well,
but
I didn't know I was like setting up to be a psychologist when I decided to
do
make
this.
my passion
Yes.
but we are.
We are.
And I think we must do it intuitively.
Yeah, we don't know that yes, it's true.
And perhaps incorrectly sometimes.
I'm sure that's true. But we have empathy, and we have a sort of, I always try to imagine what the client's really wanting and saying, and then, and just make it even more than that in some way. We have this one particular project which is in Bedford, and it's on a lake.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very shady house, and it's beautiful, and it sort of was built with all these stone walls and fireplaces, and it's not something that I typically get to do. And she's a writer, and she had this sort of word or this phrase that she was our guiding phrase, which is lake core.
Okay.
And it took me a while to really understand. So it was sort of like themed, but not in a cheesy way, but in a sort of
like an anchoring principle.
Yes, an anchoring principle.
That
That's such a good way for it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is there lake culture in and around London, or is this a very specific Northeast American?
I think there are
concept?
many lakes in England,
Yeah.
but not really. I suppose I grew up on the river next door to literally on the river.
Sound a little more English.
Yes, but the lake is somewhat different, and it's sort of a shadier version of it, maybe leafier. Anyway, the colours had that sort of watery blue, not Hampton's blues, but that sort of richer greens and blues, and we ended up doing a wallpaper throughout the entire house by Martha Armitage. Do you know who I mean? She's actually English and lives near I grew up, on the river next door to my mother. And isn't that so funny? And I wasn't
complete coincidence.
It wasn't the intention to use her wallpaper, but we arrived there, and it's all these sort of leaves, and it's just really
Empathy.
Yes.
Funny it came up so quickly. Do you think people outside of our industry think our industry requires empathy?
I've met many really, really good decorators who are maybe much, much better, than I'll ever be. But one thing I will say is, some people go to a particular decorator and they know what they're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore that empathy is not necessarily needed because the brand is so strong.
Right.
But I think maybe the way I do it, it's so relationship based, and that's just the way it is.
Correct. And that's how I think I do it. And
yes,
it was kind of
I
what we
think
connected
we do it this way. Yes. Yes.
And I think that all of my designer friends just do it the way that they do all of the things in their lives.
Yes.
Like, to your point, like,
yes.
And so as a empathetic person, or someone who is really curious to know what goes on in the heads of others, it manifests in this particular process.
Yes.
But that I think comes with a lot of empathy for the client. But that's what keeps bringing me back is what do they want? Do they know why they want it? And does it reflect either who they want to be or who they aspire to be?
Yes.
Because digging into who they are is really difficult for them. And I don't know that clients understand how daunting. I think clients can think it's going to be complicated because they've heard this lots of decisions, or it costs a lot of money, But there's a self-discovery element, kind of like what you put on in the morning, if you are wanting it to reflect who you are. But every single pillow and color and textile, if a client really wants it to reflect them, they have to know who they are.
Yes.
Before they'll be able to make those decisions with any ease.
Yes.
And I think that can be too really rigorous for some people.
Yes.
And for others, almost second nature.
Yes. And I think they're very different processes. Our processes may be very involved with the client. It's very collaborative.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, not everybody has that process as other,
No.
No.
I don't think they do.
No, I don't know. I second guess myself all the time. Well, second guess maybe is the wrong word, but I constantly refining it in my mind. I think this is the way, the approach, and then I'll think, well, maybe it'd be better if it was a little bit more this way, or I try to sort of develop it in my mind as that it, in my opinion, it's the best that it can be given the circumstances. So it's that level of sort of process that I just can't help but do. Like if somebody say, well, that's good. You just pick that brown. That's going to be great. That won't work. For me, it's like, but is it the right brown? Is it the right texture? Is it the right feel? And I'm sort of want always it to be the best that it can be, I think, given the circumstances, obviously the budget, the room, the everything, the constraints. But
right. Well, that's part of the refining it.
Yes, it's
right?
constantly
All of those
in my
things you just
mind.
mentioned, like the
Yes.
budget, I think is one we should talk about, because we have projects that have, for everybody every project has like a financial system in it.
Yes, it does.
So when people say that project has no budget, there is a grid and a host of people that are responsible for making sure that value and dollars all add up at the end.
Yes.
Regardless of what the total number is at the end of the project.
Yes.
And sometimes, and that total number doesn't always change the process the way people think it would. In fact, sometimes it almost has no impact on the process because of what you just said. We need the right fabric for this chair. It needs to be this color, which we're going to decide which exact shade, and is it reflecting light in the right way because it's in the morning room.
Right.
And so we want to face the warp and the weft a certain direction. We'll do that at night, worry about that. But in the context of the budget, that's like a great first thing. That's like, okay, well, this is the budget for that fabric. Should it be, the most expensive, rare, hand-woven textile that we love to work with? But there's also like a beautiful version that isn't that.
Yes.
So budget is a part of that, making sure that the client is getting the absolute most enduring best product.
Exactly.
Which doesn't mean they have to spend the most.
It doesn't. It's the most thought through. Like I've really thought through, like you said, you just thought through all the angles so that you can really stand by your decision and you can offer them what you consider to be the best option or the best two options or whatever.
That's such a learned point of view. That like stand by it. I think when I was earlier in my career, and I think we as humans tend to take greater risks when we're younger and things like that.
Yes.
We can talk about that. But that when it's all done.
Yes.
And you were back in that project with your client, that you need to be able to stand by every single decision.
Yes.
And I can only do that if I've actually thought about all of them. And it's like, no, I know that leather was a good choice. If it's not working, there's a reason for it. It wasn't because I just pulled it out of a hat. Like I've thought about every chair height and I've thought about all of the stone finishes. So doing the due diligence of our work is a big part of how I do it, because I want to be able to stand by it.
Yes.
But maybe I'm just not like brave enough to like show up and say you should like it,
No, and
but
no. I mean, I don't know if it was an interesting relatively interesting thing happened recently about. It looked like we had made a really big mistake in a project.
Okay.
And the client said to me, I just don't understand how you could have missed this. And I went away thinking, I must have missed this, but it's so weird that me and my team would have missed this because we've been doing this for so long. We've never not missed it before. It's part of the process. But he's convinced, and he's, if he thinks that we've missed it, then turned out, to your point earlier about I did think it through and we hadn't missed it, but the error had actually happened in the construction. But it was sort of that thing of knowing, yes, we do the due diligence. We do.
We do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so expensive.
Yes.
We operate in a luxury product.
Yes.
Interior design at the level, let's talk about your team too, because
yes.
I got to meet them. But, we employ adults
yes.
with families and
yes.
healthcare and schools and kids, and so interior design at a level, not like we have the best looking product, but as a product of like full service interior design in the world that we exist today, it's a very luxury product. Even if the room we're designing isn't a necessarily luxurious room, like we can help a client with a dorm room or something, or however it is,
yeah.
but it's still like high touch.
Yes.
And the expectation is it's all been thought about, right? There's no B pluses. It's all A pluses.
Yeah.
And your team, because that came up quickly when we met too, right? We talked about how fabric and material that we wear translates into our projects. And that's kind of what we were talking about with Emily and fashion and your fashion background. But then we immediately started talking about our team, and your team consists of, based on my reading,
yes.
people from a lot of different fields of study.
Yes, it's a. I've had, people. I've had 2 project managers who really have been with me for upwards of 20 years, who are, remarkably talented, very skilled, highly experienced, and we all have this sort of intimate language now of, how we all work together. And then there are other people, obviously, who've, for different reasons, they come for a while, they move on, but, it's, I guess it's really interesting when you have lots of different ages, lots of different point of views, lots of different backgrounds, bringing all their, interests and experiences to the table. And I've learned a lot from a lot of people who have said wisdom as well from various different members of the team, things they've experienced or wisdom they can offer. It's helpful. The wisdom being, sometimes I'll maybe they've got some advice or something or some experience that just sort of helps. I'm trying to think of a specific incident that will illustrate it, but sometimes an insight on a client, why we're kind of struggling over something, and they might have a really good insight or to sort of keep the thing moving forward.
I do that every morning with my team. Some of whom are here. I'm like, I did it this morning. Okay, let's dissect this communication.
Yes.
Let's stand in our client's shoes.
Yes.
What are they feeling? What are they thinking? How should we interpret it? How should we act on it or not? That's like every morning.
Yes.
That sort of version of our design. And they're all different humans who have a different set of exposure. But the team, you have a team, you choose to operate a firm.
Yes.
That is taking on enough projects to support a team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. We don't have to. Like, people are designers all on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the team important to you? Is it part of why you want to do this? Would you do it if you didn't have a team?
I think the team feels like that's interesting. I love having the team. Mm-hmm. I love the collaboration. Yeah. What do you think? What do you feel?
I wanted the team.
Yes.
That was a big driver in establishing my firm. Was wanting, I just need them.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't work well alone at all.
No, I think that's right. I think that's right. I feel like some of them, they're family at this point,
I'm sure.
I really do.
20 years.
Yes, I really do. But I think sharing the experience with somebody in so many ways, both collaboratively and also, it's difficult to work alone.
project manager is the hardest job.
Yes.
You said you've had two for a long time.
Yes, it's very hard.
I've done it. I've been that role. I was
Yes.
that role for a long time.
Yes.
It's the hardest job because you can be blamed for everything from both sides.
Yes. Yeah, it's tough.
It's everything comes across your desk. It's a million details. And I just wanted to say that to the world.
Yes,
I want everyone
it's true.
to know that.
It's so true. It's a very nice thing to say. It's true. It's a hard job because it's also, it's very hard work. It's very logistic based, and you don't always get the appreciation you probably deserve.
That's right. And
Yeah.
it's relationship management every day, all day.
Yeah.
With all sorts of different types of people. It's why it's such an interesting job. You're kind of famous in your own mini world as a project manager.
Yeah.
Like every vendor, everyone on the client team,
Yeah.
like you're the center of attention in that project.
Yeah.
And every new project is almost like a new company.
Yes, it's like
When
a new
people-
production. It's a
new
new
production,
theatre production or a
And
new.
so you
yeah.
you have to like build from the ground up who you need to handle in different ways. But anyhow, I thought it says a lot about you and your project managers that you've been together so long.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. No, I love that. I love it. I also love, I don't know if you love this, I love the vendor part of our industry. I love meeting and finding new, or not even new, but just some of our vendors we've worked with for so long too. And the shorthand and the sort of, the more, sometimes I'll go to one of our particular vendors and say, well, we've got this, we need to build a sectional sofa, but there's a pipe. We need to build it over the pipe, make it seem like it's not there, whatever we have to get them to do.
Sounds like a very New York problem.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, those kind of things, or just whatever we bring them, or we need to do something really different that we've never done before. What can we do? And they can strategize with them and come up with really interesting things.
Is that different than the fashion world?
I
Not that we're comparing, but
No.
you came from the fashion world,
Yeah.
and I am a boy from a small town. Like fashion was up here, and then now in New York, it's obviously all around. But the working with vendors or makers has always been my exposure. Like working with grandpa on a job site or something. The hammer slinging.
Yes.
And that piece. I mean, I came from just two parents that let me do whatever I wanted in their house. It's very, they came home once from dinner, and I think correctly decided that my blinds should be blue.
Oh.
But the best way I came up with
But how do you just? What
I
do
just
you
grabbed
do?
spray paint and held
I
it
see.
about 1 inch from the blind, so it was a heavy coating
Uh-huh.
of blue spray paint. Also, like the entire inside of the house was full of fumes. But there was never like negative feedback from those experiences. So I just always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And was like forcing it on
Yes.
my
Yes.
surroundings.
Yes, I think I did things like that too. I think I rehung artwork all the time, and I was always sort of rearranging things and when always.
But why?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
we it has to feel right.
Yeah.
It feels like egregious if it's not right. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but it's true. It's like if that painting's too high, it's like, oh my God, that painting's got to come down, or whatever.
But I'm not OCD.
No.
Well, I don't think I am, but like I don't need to like straighten everything.
No, I agree. I don't, because it's not about being controlled. It's about making it look seems very superficial, but making it sort of look the best it can look, but not only in that superficial way, in that way that it matches some inner thing.
Matches. Let's see. If the art is hanging too high, why does that bother us? I wonder.
It's just incorrect.
It's just wrong.
It's just wrong. Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah.
There's something about balance. Like I'm always
Yes.
the interiors that I'm drawn to and that I tend to create have a music background. So, but there's a chord, and that chord might be minor, but it all needs to have a little bit of a reason to be there.
Yes.
And so, if that painting is too high, it's with a lot of intention, because the room needs something to jolt us out of
Yes.
mediocrity or stasis. But yeah, I guess I do have a vision of what I think every room should be, and scratching it constantly is the reason why we have set up these companies and convinced these people to show
trust
up for
us
us every day.
yeah, well, that too, yes, have people
Yeah,
show
or
up for us
clients
and
to
our
pay for
clients
it.
to trust us.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah.
Does it happen in other parts of our lives? Do you?
I find decorating for myself, I don't know if I saw some lovely images of your loft in Shelter Island.
You just need to come see it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
But
I think Philip took all those photos with his iPhone.
Oh, really? That's great. Well, I've never done a project for myself.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but there's obviously some psychological reason why I haven't done it. But I'm doing 2 for myself for the first time in my life at this age.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really difficult. So the ease I find it with other people, it's so clear to me what the answer could be, or but for me it means it's really hard. It's just,
I have heard that. I mean, the great thing about the Shelter Island loft is that it is a lot of leftover things that didn't work in projects.
You're not putting pressure on yourself in that way. Yeah.
But that signals something about how I think people can live. Like, I think the way I live is really comfortable. It reflects the person I live with, my husband, and how he likes to live. It reflects all of these things. I mean, I have hand-me-downs from friends.
Yes.
I have things vendors have given me, or I find in the corner and I put on layaway, and sort of pay them over the years, and that's a great way to live.
Yes.
I think it's actually it would be a harder thing to pay me to do for someone. Like, it would be more difficult to pull together
that layer, that ultra personal
much history that's as truly like personal as mine are.
Yes.
But what we can do, and what we execute for our clients, is like that same feeling, because I have thought about every fabric line and I have shopped them all 1,700 times.
Yes.
And I know which fabric lines feel kind of like the client. Right. I'm like, it's so we dress our clients' homes with deep, rich personal knowledge.
Yes.
Because we aren't flippant about it.
Not at all.
We have put way too much thought into all of it.
Yeah.
And I think that is why I keep doing it.
Yeah. I also feel there's so much more for me to learn, both in terms of my own sense of creativity. I feel I'm scratching the surface in many ways. I want to learn so much more. I want to have more skill in it all, and more knowledge, for sure. So that's I'm just suddenly thinking, what am I trying to say? But the idea that there's just so much more to learn. There's so much more to do. There's so many more artists I want to find, and there's so many more opportunities I want my clients and myself and our team to have in creating something special. And we're it's that sort of, I don't feel at all at a point where I can say, well, I feel I'm still very much, learning phase.
Well, you have 2 degrees. Is that right? 2 higher education degrees, sort of?
Well, I have a art degree, which was a year, and then a degree in history, which has nothing to do with what I'm doing now. But
or a lot, or everything to do.
Yes,
with
in a
what
way,
you're doing.
yeah.
But you're a life learner. I mean, you bothered to study.
Yes, and I did a really sort of like very academic history degree at Cambridge in England, which is a very academic place, and it was really difficult because I'm not really so studiously inclined, but
you suffered through.
I did, somehow got to the end of it, and
2 things you said. One, these projects we do for our clients, it is so special to be invited into someone's
Yes, it is.
life
It
to
is.
design their house. Like it. So what you, it is for our teams to be in these people's lives in the, their house or their office or whatever it is. There's so much trust from the client that goes into that, and so it is miraculous and special to participate in it.
It is.
So to your point, like it's not like we get bored of it, because every new project is an exciting new person that we're going to learn something from them, how they live and
I
what
agree.
they want.
I feel like there's always things to learn, and the clients push you sometimes, with certain clients.
All the time.
And they, and I love that, they,
Yeah.
they might somebody might have a very, very strong, aesthetic, they really like something a certain way, and you sort of inhabit that world, and then you have another client that has an equally strong aesthetic. I have a particular client that loves purple. It happens to be one of my favorite colors too, but
There was a whole bin. There were a couple of bins of versions of purple in your office. I remember.
Purple is just everything,
Such
but
a
not
strong
everybody
color.
loves it. It's a very,
I rarely
very
get to use
polarizing kind of color.
Yeah.
But so I feel like that's a color that I love and use if I can and if it's appropriate. But I wouldn't get the chance if this particular person didn't absolutely love it, and so it's.
But you also you have a relationship with the color purple that I don't have, right? Like your mastery of the color purple is a product of all of these opportunities.
Yes.
Like this is.
That is just
This
such a
is-
pretty. It's so the purples. There's actually not that much purple,
Well,
but it
that's
just.
right.
But it looks it. Yeah.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah,
You
but
beat me- you beat me to the punchline.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at that, I thought, it's a purple room, and then I put it down. I thought, no, just the carpet is purple.
It's really just the carpet and maybe a bedspread a
but
bit.
it's a gray room.
Thank you.
Well, gray and gray. If you said what color is that room, you would be more accurate by saying, well, the walls are this platinum,
sort of gray
beautiful
greeny,
green
yeah.
color, and whatever printed off of my printer. But there's a master class on not just the color purple, but certainly the color purple and your understanding of what scale of print should be on these curtains versus this pillow and that pillow, and so I've been kind of studying this in
That's very
a
nice of you to-
self-indulgent way that I don't usually sit and look at anyone else's work quite as long, and I'm realizing I should, not because I don't think I can learn from it, because we're just so busy.
Yes, we're just
Like,
so
it felt
busy.
very and
Yeah.
like decadent to just sit and kind of think about all of the things you and your team did to make this room what it is, and how I'm sure how happy this
Oh, they love it. They
client
just
is every time
they just love it.
wake up in
Yeah,
this room.
yeah.
So that color
That's-
purple is important to you and your
It
clients.
is,
We
it
have a
is.
client who I feel like they kind of had to like come out with the colors that they. I think we can be unintentionally intimidating with new clients sometimes.
Yes.
Right, they come into this relationship as well sometimes, and so it's like if I really show who I am or say the colors I like, or,
Yes.
will I be judged, or and you're exactly right. I'll work on a project that is very strong in a particular color, and then I'll see that color. I'll know how to use that color moving forward,
Yes.
right? And it wouldn't have been in my toolkit in the same way if I hadn't had the opportunity to
Yes.
really go deep into green or blue or whatever it is, all the various shades in that. So but you are a color master.
Thank you.
Um,
I love color. I really need it. I remember a psychologist once saying to me, well, your first language was color.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means, but I always hung on to that because I thought, I like that. I'll take it.
yeah.
Because I think some people, it's music, it's
Yeah.
sound, it's
Mhm.
whatever it is.
And
Yeah,
yours is color.
for sure.
Your fabric bins are organized in a lot of ways, but one of them
Yes.
is color, but at a specificity of color
Yes,
that I so enjoyed
yes,
seeing.
yes, it's really like I love. Yes, it's like the order of the colors, like it's somehow gaining some sort of weird control over something you can't control. I don't know. It's really, I just love it. Yeah,
Well, colors. You told me that color was the first thing you thought about when you create a room.
I think so. But again, we're making it. It's very subtle. It's not like there are many. I would say it's not primary colors. It's not really. It's just this sort of more than a whisper, but it's sort of it's it's an underpinning, but it's not dominant color. It's sort of like it's atmospheric.
Mm-hmm. The room wants to sort of glow.
Yes.
With that color.
Right, but it's not like hitting you in the face.
Just putting it all over the walls.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. People sometimes assess more contemporary work to be colorless. It's also a very common judgment, I think, from the greater design world. And color obviously prints better on pages and things, and so
yes.
That's just all part of that aspect of the business. But when we are in a room, it can feel like a color but still be pretty neutral in a lot of ways, in the way that you have expertly done it in that room. And that's something we try to create as well, is what is like swirling around us when we're in the room, and it doesn't always translate into images.
No, it doesn't.
You have to be, because it's light and sunlight in different times of day.
Yeah. But it's interesting about the images, because very often very contrasting, bright, high saturation does take photography very well. And so you get this sort of idea that I guess what I'm trying to say is often more subtle but equally beautiful rooms of colors don't photograph that well, and so you can't really tell. It's only when you're in them do you really understand the sort of the level of sophistication or the thought that's gone into it, because they just don't photograph that well.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's it's like scientific, the level of fabric work we do when we're trying to get the finish on the coffee table to have some of the tones.
Yes.
And this carpet and this fabric, and we spend months and years finding those things, making sure there's enough of it to cover the sofa.
Yes.
Hides, we're talking about animal hides, that those are natural things, you can't always control them. So to create a room like this, when we do, I'm just grabbing one, but like there's a palette to this room that relies on more than just picking one paint color and putting it on the walls.
No, it's carefully
complex.
layered and complex, exactly. So when you look at it, you get a first impression, and then the more you're in it, you suddenly realize, oh, actually the trim is slightly different, and the wall's slightly different, and the ceiling is slightly different. It starts to become more and more interesting, rather than your first impression is it.
Right, and that's how the room is enduring.
Yes.
Otherwise, you have a room that is more fashionable.
Yes.
And, it hits you on the head, you walk in, it's this color.
Yes.
Check, done. But an interior that reveals itself over time and we don't get bored requires all of that very heavy detail work you're talking about, which is, I'm looking at Ingrid, and all the time we spend picking out like the trim on the one pillow that should be a little different than the trim on this other pillow. Not because someone's going to notice the first time they're in the room, but the 900th time somebody is in that room reading a book, and they look up again and look at the beautiful room they're in, and they're like, wow,
it just brings you joy. All these layers and thoughts and these like beautiful elements, they bring you joy, and that's the point,
They bring us joy.
Yes.
Because I think it brings me joy to know that anyone bothered to care that much about something small, because I'm small in this world. The world is big. How do I feel important if that isn't important? I think that's why I like getting in the details, because it proves that little things matter, and we are just little things, and like a giant.
It's a nice way to look at it.
And so we can't be indifferent.
No,
because then
there's that expression, God is in the details.
Yeah. Turns out
it's sort of true. They're right. Yeah.
Can I ever get invited to dine?
Oh, that was done. It looks kind of this. I was there maybe a year or so ago, and it's somewhat similar still. It's like it's an ever-evolving bookcase, and it's an ever-evolving sort of library, and the artwork changes a bit, but it just looks better and better, that room.
Tell me about.
It's a floor. It's an artist who It's not paint. It's actually glued down, layered papier-mâché paper, and then it's sort of ripped to look like a swirling. It's so cool. It's so cool.
What I care about that is you and the client cared enough about this room to come up with something that would make it incredibly special for anyone who ate there, for them, or whether they entertain or not. But thinking something beyond, there's so many other things you already did well, but then you just had to push it one more time.
Yes, just one more layer just to make it really just different. Yeah.
I'm just talking about them because it's been fun. We were talking about this before, but like the challenges of the grand piano.
It's very,
But you've done it here, and I was thinking, okay, you've got lots of negative space, empty space, so there was enough space to handle it. But then these other choices you made, this like layer of books that adds some
texture and life.
Casual. Not as serious. Grand piano feels so serious. It's like a tuxedo in the middle of a room.
It does.
And not a tuxedo with sneakers on.
No.
Like not a. It's like, you know, a real tuxedo room. And so, you've done something else. What else? What, like, how thoughtful was this, or did it just happen?
No, it was actually quite thoughtful because they had the Donald Judd as well, and then that all sort of came together because of the sculpture, and then it was fairly thought through over time, because at the height of the bookcase and the, you know, is it a bookcase or is it a window seating? You know, do you sit there? How deep is it? You know, it's like all those things.
I'm so glad to learn that all that happened.
Yes.
And the two different colored cushions.
Yeah, that had to be. It couldn't be the same.
It couldn't be the same.
No. The length of them was really, that was, because I think each cushion is the same, width as the bay.
Yeah. Check.
Yeah.
You get an A plus, Katie.
No, thank you.
One more I wanted, all of them, but this one, because I stared at it long enough to realize, I think that, what are the countertops in this kitchen? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. The perimeter is stainless steel, and the island is a stone. I forget what stone it is. It might be just like a Danby. Something like that. Yeah. It's a good sort of durable stone.
It's a great durable stone if you ever go shopping in Manchester. You walk on the sidewalk.
Yes.
But that stainless steel countertop is why the room pulls off the color in some ways. Did you have to convince the client
they wanted an interesting colored kitchen.
Okay.
And the room that's off there has the Joseph Frank, very colorful. This client is not afraid of color.
Okay, good.
And they have it's a sort of essentially a white living room with these phenomenal Joseph Frank curtains to the ground, they're tall windows, and so this is an interesting balance to the two ends of the room because they sort of connect.
Okay.
And the blue is just that took a few tries.
Color.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yeah, but I'm glad they did it. I don't think they'll get bored of it. I think it's cool.
No, but that pullback on the countertops, I thought,
helps.
Or because you could have just painted the ceiling blue, but you did something. You and your client decided to do something much riskier.
Yes.
They could have more self-doubt in it, which is paint the cabinets.
Or the lower,
color,
and then do the uppers a different color.
But you kept the you did no hardware. You have stainless. Like there's you made the color as important as it is.
Yes.
You didn't layer on top of it.
We didn't pull back.
Which is kind of scary. That blue is like, I'm the front man in this kitchen.
It's true.
You know, like there's nothing else. Everyone else is decidedly second and third.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Thank
really
you.
Enjoyed looking at it. Okay.
It's fun. Yeah.
So let's talk broader about what we're going to do next in our lives.
Yes.
As interior designers on the precipice of a whole new world full of AI.
Yeah.
And just, you know, what do I think I might do? I'm going to keep doing this because I don't know how else to make a living.
Me too.
But I am more aware of natural materials kind of like being harder to get our hands on. When I think I'm at an age where I'm middle-aged enough that I have enough experience worth talking about outside of my own office, and I'm still close enough in age to people coming into the workforce that they won't completely blow me off. And so it's a moment to maybe spend time in that, which is why I'm here with you. Before, I think it'll eventually kind of evolve into something that's a little more like Sage. But right now I'm just trying to talk to as many people as I can, because I want to assimilate that knowledge and put it out in a way that it's bringing attention to the things that I believe matter, that are harder for people to know in an all digital environment. Why materials matter, why different types of wood matter, why different types of stone matter. It's not just because of their color. Where they come from matters, how they're produced matters, the types of yarn, where does that yarn come from? It like everything doesn't just come from a computer.
Right.
There is a community or an entire civilization that is built around making those rugs for so much longer than any of us. These industries are real.
Yes.
And we need to learn about them, or they will go away, or because people will accept the less expensive alternative. There's something noble about the core elements that put our homes together that I don't want to be glossed over.
Yeah. Do you think, what do you think, or how do you think AI can help our industry or participate in the industry? I struggle with trying to figure out a use for it. I don't know if you do. Like we tried to do.
No, I just have fights with my team about it. We don't struggle.
Oh, right.
I always win.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
But what do you
do
use it for? I mean, we tried to do some renderings using it. It's okay.
Right.
It's not great though.
Well, I'll say that in my life, I have learned to play the piano. I have learned another language. I've learned to ride a bike. I've more recently learned to ski. Give AI anything you don't care if you can't ever do again. Like, if you're going to give up something you care about being able to continue doing, you'll stop knowing how to do that. You'll lose not only maybe the skill, but you'll lose the understanding of the process. So I don't ever want to lose my ability to shop for fabrics.
Right.
Okay. I want to know where the fabric showrooms are. I want to it's a skill to know how to scan all the racks, and it's so important, the fabrics in my product. Like, I can't outsource that. I would have AI help me with anything that I'm comfortable with not being able to just pick up and do again quickly. I think it's a great administrative assist in some ways, like on the administrative side.
Yes.
It can keep information organized and remember it, so it has a strong memory if you bother to put things in it. But on the visual side, aside from like a little bit of Photoshop work, like, no, we don't really use it
a great
at all
deal
on the aesthetic side yet.
Yes, we
it's
don't
not there
either.
for ideating.
No,
but I think it could help us be organized.
Being organized. Okay, okay. That's
like alphabetize all the fabrics.
Yes.
In our office,
okay, that's helpful. But
that kind of
yeah.
thing. No, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
We're core. We need to be in the workrooms. We don't learn how, like you were saying about the sofa and the pipe. So you need to go to our trusted vendors with a high level concept, but they make the stuff. They know what can.
They're with the inches. They're with
to push
yes,
it.
Yes.
And they're also creatives, and they also, they oftentimes have, or all the time have, like, their ideas complement or even improve my own. So, I mean, I'm not the master of everything. I'm a jack of all trades. That's why I'm in the role that I am.
I love that part of what we do is it's so varied, and there are so many aspects to it that keep you. There's just so many things that are involved in making a room, from buying an antique to not buying an antique, having something made to whatever it is. There's so many ingredients. And so you have to learn about so many things. And like you said, you're sort of a jack of all trades, and it's very, very interesting in that way.
It's deep and rich.
Yes, it is.
That's why we keep coming back?
I think
because
so.
we're just scratching the surface.
I feel like I am. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. 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 And I was recently in Spain and just going around how they're kind of developing their aesthetic and how they're sort of what's new there and how it kind of it's different to sort of how aesthetics is sort of developing here. And it's really it's so interesting how there's so, there is a globalization to it all, but there also isn't, and it's staying on that side that I think is where the magic keeps happening.
Well, things are made with our hands and in shops.
Yes.
And we can say, oh, I can design anywhere in the world, but where we're really good at designing are the places where we have designed before, and we have the network of local support, of local materials and understanding of it. We've done a lot of work on the Big Island in Hawaii, and I remember landing on that island in the pitch of night. And when I woke up the next morning being absolutely shocked by what I saw around me, it was nothing that I expected or I had known in Maui or the Oahu. It was completely different land covered in black lava and gold grass. And it was like, okay, well now, I thought I knew what this project was going to look like, and I need to start over.
Yeah.
And become after 10 years of our firm being over there, it's like, I know a lot about the story of that island. I've done a lot of historical research and just reading deep into the history of that place. All that informs what should be in people's homes if they're interested in it, having a connection to where they are. And designers are kind of local. Like we need to. So if I started my career over in Japan, I feel like I would be learning to walk again, to crawl. Like I would have a whole nother carever.
I would have a whole nother career
of learning a new language.
Yeah. I would too. But actually, I really want to go to Japan. I've never been.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dying to go. Have you been?
I have, but for
gosh.
not long enough. Let's go back.
Oh my gosh, it is. I'd love to.
Okay.
Because we should definitely do like a design trip.
Let's do it.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Let's first make the long trek from Shelter to SAG.
Yes, let's do that first.
To prove to ourselves so we can go to Japan. I would love to do it. There's nothing more edifying than, I've learned so much from going to stone quarries or to my local upholstery shop. The same, but you need to be able to do all of that.
Yeah, you have to be out there,
Because our clients are.
Yes, we have to be out there doing it all. Yeah.
When do you think we're going to see each other next?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's going to be in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
I think we need to have dinner.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yes, I'd love to.
And look, here's another proposal. Why don't I design your houses and you design mine? It'll be so much easier.
I actually really need help because I just have to tell you, I'm doing a renovation. First one really that I've ever done for myself. And I'm really old and it's ridiculous that this has never happened before, but anyway.
Yeah.
So I had designed the kitchen, and then I'm looking at it, and I've just come back from Spain. And I'm like, no, we are not doing this kitchen. No. So it's now this sort of like
trashed.
It's trashed, and it's a sort of, I just redid it all, and it's like this sort of mid-century Spanish influence. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. But
it's going to be great.
It is going to be great. Yes.
I got to meet your office briefly.
Yeah.
You've now met some of my office through here.
It's that nice.
But our offices are really close together. And like I said, we have kind of this access to our roof. And so now that the weather is nice,
let's have a party.
I really want the offices to meet each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do something. That sounds wonderful.
Okay. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Neal.
This was really nice.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you, Philip.
Yes, thank you, guys. Yeah.